The answer is always yes.
Perfect. I scored again.
So, I guess we should start with a little bit of news. Hulk Hogan killed Gawker.
Oh yeah, it is Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, well, no, he didn't kill Andre the Giant.
It was just a matter of time after that leg drop. he dropped the leg of doom on Gawker.
Good God. Couldn't have happened to a better company. $140 million judgment awarded.
Yes, it was.
Again,
yes,
I guess.
He
destroyed
actually, I think the payback was better than Mania.
And they immediately filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So, Gawker's kind of dead, but not really. Because, well...
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's saying that Gawker plans to find a new owner, and it seems like it's a firm bid from publisher Ziff Davis, which is disappointed because Ziff Davis owns a lot of good publications like IGN, Ask Men, and PC Mag. Gawker does not fall into any of those categories, so I could see maybe why they would want it, because it would be something different.
Yeah, I didn't think
that
we needed an entire half hour dedicated to Vince just saying, "Oh, hey, I'm going to give it to both of you."
Ziff Davis's reputation more than helping it.
Especially because it's like, but at the same time,
Gawker makes money because people enjoy celebrity crap that has nothing to do with them.
Plus, you gotta be a media conglomerate, so you gotta conglomerate things.
I guess so.
Right, plus the build for that was only 4 days.
That sounds like it should be some rap single.
Let's conglomerate, baby.
You gotta conglomerate.
Yeah, in its own way, it was kind of anticlimactic.
I got my pants on. I got my pants.
I mean, it wasn't.
Like,
I'm kind of glad that he went with this decision because it wasn't what people were expecting, and it was a good way to change things up because I think everybody was just going to say we're expecting him to say Shane, you get Raw, and Stephanie, you get SmackDown, but that didn't happen. Which I kind of
that's okay. I didn't have one.
I think that we don't really need to do the brand split again. We could do it, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, actually,
and then that would mean that they would have
to
create two championship titles again,
so
and
poor Ziff Davis
would
go
just be too
conglomerate,
messy.
and hopefully they'll unconglomerate. Well, tomorrow is TNA Slammiversary, which I don't think anybody is really that excited for, especially after that really bizarre Jeff Hardy broken Matt Hardy the Room promo thing.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. I didn't really see the significance.
Yes, the greatest
just like,
movie of all time.
Hey, if you I hope you become GM of everything so that you can give me a title shot.
After about the fourth time that I saw it, I started thinking of different drinking games just for this. So if you want to have liver failure in 5 minutes, this is the game for you.
Yeah, it definitely could have been on Raw.
There's several different ones. There's a drink every time there's a panoramic shot. Every time pretty much. Yeah. Every time the score changes. Every time Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy appear.
In other news, Adam Rose, he deleted all of his posts on his WWE suspensions today.
When Rebby Sky appears, you have to do a shot.
He posted the
when
doctor's
she throws the
note
baby,
and
you have to
everything.
take a double shot.
According to the doctor's note,
the side effect you have to chug throughout the entire duration of the side effect.
This is what he got suspended for.
Every time the door is open and then is closed, but shown open after it's been closed.
As soon as I saw Adderall, I kind of chuckled to myself because I couldn't believe that it was Adderall.
Yes, you have to chug during that.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're going to go to the hospital if you play this game.
I mean, the handwriting was terrible, so
unless it's with
probably
water,
is a doctor's note.
Or Gatorade.
Frank? Oh, good, you're there.
You're overhydrated.
I don't understand why we get
What happened? This man's. What's happened? This man's got more water content in the system than a watermelon.
As if being the social outcast wasn't.
He was playing the Matt Hardy drinking game, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
these hydrated kids.
TNA
I
pseudo
feel bad for the
drinking
guy.
game. I
Now
can
he's
see
got
it.
two
I can
kids.
see it now.
But
Have you
well,
seen the keyboard
Titus is
Matt
back.
memes? Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
So
no.
it's like they got
the
suspended
piano
one dad
scene
and
should
they
be
brought back
shot
another.
too.
But we really liked the dad that they
People
brought back.
started making,
Because he never should have been
keyboard
suspended
Matt
anyway.
where
But
when
Adam
Jeff
Rose
Watson
really
was
should
playing
get
piano,
his
they
suspension
changed,
lifted
music
as
to
well.
different
Because that was
stuff.
kind of
Oh,
stupid.
no.
Like, there's a lot of them out there, but my favorites are he plays like a piano music with John Cena theme song.
That could be.
That's great.
That could be an
And then
interesting
there's
take.
another one where he plays actual like keyboard cat songs. Oh my god! There's like
Well, they have to suspend Kevin Owens first, and then they could all come back as the sad dads. Or the mad. No, actually, no. They'd
Well,
be
he's
good. They'd come
broken,
back as
so-
the mad dads, and they would just wreak havoc on all the non-dad superstars.
It's like a schizophrenic like.
Oh
Yeah, so it'll probably be a good match, but I don't know. It's really bizarre, the whole thing. Actually, there's something that was actually worse about a week before that. That was in ring, and it was a giant Willow segment thing with 3 different Willows.
Yeah,
one of them
he's
was Matt
pissed,
Hardy.
man.
For some reason, they gave it the distorted voice was extremely high pitched, so it was impossible to take it seriously. And for some reason, one of the 3 Willows
I didn't know that it
were
worked
gold,
like that.
where the other 2
It doesn't
were not.
really make any
and
sense.
the gold one was not Matt Hardy, so it made no sense. And then at another point, Jeff Hardy showed up as Willow and did a Willow-ish
Right, like
promo
that makes
thing,
sense
and
to be like higher up
it
on the
kinda
card.
went
It makes
nowhere
more sense.
at all.
It makes sense to get paid more. But if
So like a lot of things in TNA.
But
Yes.
if you're
WWE,
if you're
to be fair.
getting if you're gonna
That dude,
lose,
this past week, like, they had the
then
lights go off, and then all of a sudden,
it doesn't make
like,
any
the
sense
lights
to
came
get
back on, like,
less
all the
money
audience
than
quote
the guy who's
unquote
gonna
was
win.
Will
Like if you're on
Mass,
equal
aka,
ground,
like, the people in, like, the front
it doesn't
section.
make any sense to do that.
yeah.
And then Matt was like, "Oh no!" It's like, "Oh my god! What, did you think someone just came and like just
Right. Like if every member of the Social Outcasts
so dumb.
is in a match.
It was like
with
Dixie
each
Carter
other,
attempted
whoever
to
loses
be
is going
Oprah.
to get less money than the winner, but they're
much.
all
Look
on
under
the
your
same
chair.
level.
It's a
So
Willow
I don't
mask.
see why.
Oh.
I don't see why
Oh,
one of
man,
them.
no,
I don't see why the one who
I wanted
wins
a car.
has to get more money if it's all
How come
predetermined and everyone
Oprah
else
gives you
is
cars?
agreeing to lose.
But Daddy,
I'm surprised
I
that
don't
people
wanna be
agreed
Willow.
to lose more often, but now it makes sense as to why
The only
there's so many
thing
rumors
I'm
going on
kind
of
excited
why
for
people
this
won't
anniversary
job to
is
certain people
Pepper
or
Parks
things like
for,
or things of that nature, or why some
I
people
think
are
that's-
difficult
yeah,
to
he's
work with
gonna
because they
be-
won't put anyone over.
and,
Like there's a lot
Biggie
with
is,
there's a
like,
lot of rumors
leader
about that
of
with
Biggie or
Triple H
whatever,
and
I think.
your Hulk Hogan's
and
and
he's gonna, or it might just be a
etc.
pay-per-view appearance. But he's from Buffalo, so I'm like, yeah, Buffalo.
All right, that's nice.
Go local boy,
Mhm.
do good. Except you're in TNA.
Yeah.
No, he
Also,
has been.
I
He
guess
was given a
before we
fair
just
shot,
drift away
but
from this
it
whole
just
thing.
it was
Jeff,
just
on a,
not that good.
on a
And I mean,
interview that
to
I
be
that
fair, they gave him
Jeff
that
Hardy had done with
really
Sports Illustrated that maybe
weird
went up
bully
today or
gimmick.
yesterday or something
and
like
then
that.
they put him with Paul Heyman,
He,
and that didn't really work either.
He was saying he'd like to end his
Like,
career
it's
in
not like they
WWE,
didn't
which
try
makes
with him.
sense. So I think it'd be interesting to see him back. I mean, I could see them bringing him back again because they tend to do that, but I don't know if they could trust him that well because of his history of drug problems.
Yeah, I can see them eventually
Ugh.
bringing him back.
Yeah,
But
right backs was a
I don't know
demotion in
if I
itself.
really- like, he's not gonna
Something
do
so
much.
bad that
It'd be
even
like
Paul Heyman
when
couldn't
Rob
make it
Van
good.
Dam came back. It's like, hey, here he is. He's gonna beat a couple mid-carders.
No, he did. He is having really good matches. He's having better matches lately. Like I could see
Right,
his
I
other
couldn't really see them doing
argument where
anything
he
that
feels that people should
intense
be
with him. I definitely couldn't see them thrusting him into the main
should
event
be
picture.
moved
I could
up,
probably
should move
see
up and down the
him
card based on merit
helping
and
the
not based
Intercontinental
on
scene.
whether or not they're
At the
looking
most,
for somebody to look
if they
like
brought
this
him
or
and Matt,
to be
then
like that.
perhaps they would give him a run with the title.
What he's saying is basically that the glass
try to
ceiling is
recreate the
just
TLC
perpetual.
match with the Dudleys and somebody else.
Which I agree with him on that too. I think that if you're better, and Hardcore Holly's book it mentions that too.
Kind of rough, but like Matt.
But yeah, if you're already really good, or if you get better,
I'm wondering
they should take
the
notice,
ring sliding
and you
thing
should
had to do with maybe
get moved
he had
up the card.
the
But
glass jar
realistically,
on the
they can't do that with everyone unless they had some kind of an off season where they rotated.
Logically thinks things through.
Where they rotated superstars around like every 3 months.
Have another shot where I have a glass bottle,
would have to take
and
3
they're
months off.
No, you need to just have it under
there
the
would
thing
be
the whole
another
time.
group that
even
would
though nobody will know.
move up in its place. So that would be probably the only way that they could really do that and give everyone some kind of chance.
Maybe that was the awkward slide. I don't know.
And I just assumed that it was just like, alright, we got one take. What about championships? I want you all out of my property.
I suppose. I don't really know.
You just have the champion just like
but
take a rest for 3 months.
So let's kind of get started with this. Starting off with just one brief moment of silence. First for Gordie Howe, who even though he wasn't a wrestler, he was awesome hockey player. So
I don't know if they should. I don't know if the champions should be.
He was Mr. Hockey for sure.
Should
Gordie
fall
Howe,
into
maniac.
the category of being able to take a break if they are in that group.
So a brief moment. Of silence
I guess champions should be.
It is also the 1 year anniversary.
As far as that's concerned, but once they lose their championships, then they go on.
All right.
Then they go on their 3-month break.
Then at the same time, you could also be like,
okay.
Well, this
NXT TakeOver the end.
He's gonna go
of the beginning.
Yes.
Well, not necessarily.
They added for whatever reason.
Because they'll have them lose the title, and they don't necessarily have to do it right away. It depends on what they want to do with them. So they could have them stick around for just a little bit longer, and then if they lose the rematch, then they go on their break. But if they don't, then or if something or shenanigans happen or whatever, then maybe they could keep pushing it. So it could still keep the surprise factor going in there.
End of the beginning, I guess. I guess because pretty much the entire guard. It's because the entire guard has basically changed,
than expected,
with the exception of Bayley.
It's
really,
saying that.
And Balor
could start
and
training
Joe,
for return.
Balor will probably be
mid-June.
moving up around Money in the Bank. It'd be nice if he's the surprise, and they do end up adding a 7th man to the Money in the Bank match.
I've always heard that Randy Orton's had shoulder
he
problems,
just,
so I'm not surprised
joins
that
the
it's
club.
slower than
We've
expected.
been waiting for.
Well, yeah,
No,
they gotta pull that
neither
trigger.
am I.
No pun
mean,
intended.
plus he's.
If Balor doesn't end up joining the club, then I'll be really disappointed and confused.
He's definitely in his mid to late. He's definitely in his later 30s.
Now you gotta do it
So I mean, I guess for
I'm sure
for athletes that's considered old. So I mean, he's broken down quite a bit.
So he needs the club,
and he wants to return
probably not enough.
in a part-time capacity anyway.
Randy Orton.
Oh,
actually, not mind that
happens.
though.
I think
he's like 35
maybe
years
they'll
old,
let
somewhere around
AJ
there.
win at Money in the Bank.
Okay.
The assumption that if it continues on, then it's gonna be like the Kevin Owens thing, where it's like he got the first win, and then he just gets beat up a bunch.
I feel like it's gonna go that route.
And also, he's just had a history of shoulder.
I don't want it to,
problems,
but
so
I feel like that's gonna be the way that is.
And
I mean,
he wants
I
to
guess
come
as
back in
long
a
as
part-time
AJ
capacity,
goes over
so
clean in one fight,
I definitely don't see
think it should
him
please
rushing
most
it
people,
either.
But I mean, because I'm not looking at this the same way as the Owens feud. I see a similar result, but I wouldn't be that bummed for Styles losing because he doesn't have anything to prove.
I think that's another
Owens
reason why he's going to be taking it easy. As far as when he comes back, because a lot of times they try to rush a comeback and he doesn't necessarily
win in that feud.
He already knows what the deal is.
Styles has proven himself all over the world. In New Japan, he was dominant. In TNA, he was dominant. So everyone already knows him. So his name has already been built up by just him alone. So this wouldn't really make that much of a difference. And I feel like even if his WWE run turns out to not be so great in the end, I don't think that would really hurt him at all because of what he's done for himself.
I guess.
Past,
I mean, as long as they use him properly,
or however long he's been doing
I could see him being okay with it. But it wouldn't make any sense to like you said, to just not do anything. I'm not really a huge fan of him anyway, so I personally wouldn't care. I mean, I kind of don't mind him not being on TV, but at the same time, there's. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say that it's lacking star power, because they actually are putting time into building new stars now. I mean, they're not doing the best job of it. But
where even though
they're trying to work with what they have,
he was established on the Indies.
I would rather them keep doing that, because we could just would give more people a chance to shine.
AJ Styles. So I don't.
Plus, too,
it'd
be nice for him to.
AJ Styles needs to win
legacy stable where he could
at least one clean. I think he should win clean. If he needs to win with the club assistance, I'm not going to be worried about that either.
Yeah, I think that would actually be a lot better if they brought him back.
I'm honestly just looking forward to the match
almost
itself.
More of a managerial role where
doesn't really happen,
or like a mentor role, a stable, like you said.
So I'm actually excited.
I could definitely see that
for the
happening.
Match itself, and I think that's
also, Mick Foley is going to be doing the WWE Network podcast with Shane McMahon, because
back to NXT.
Austin noted on his podcast today that he is still rehabbing for shoulder injury.
I loved his super
Speaking of shoulder injuries,
perfect 10.
He had a torn rotator cuff, AJ joint, and labral tear. So he's just kind of he's in a sling for another month, and I guess he said that he was ready to travel for the interview, but he didn't want to mess up the operation.
I thought that he was going to pull the 10 off of the back. But he just did a regular thing. I'm kind of disappointed that that Cien's not wearing the mask, or that he didn't come out with the mask on and pull it off in front of everyone.
I guess we could start talking about
cool for his entrance.
What we actually came here to talk about. Just after this brief tidbit where Bobby the Brain Heenan is hospitalized after taking a fall.
I was just like, it's your debut.
So yes, get well soon, Brain. And now time for payback.
White suspenders. Could you look any more douchey?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was not.
Why the heck was this on the pre-show?
A music video shoot for sure. He looked like he was in a music video.
He did.
And then when he actually got his regular ring gear on, it was like, okay, why didn't he just come out to the ring
well,
like
I
this?
guess that had. I guess that they had
what was up with the costume?
More time planned initially. And hindsight 2020, but they should have put him on anyway, and they should have cut the McMahon segment in half, because it didn't have to be that long, and it didn't even have to happen at Payback.
That's like if your pants rip away.
So I think that. So I feel bad for the guys because they did a great job and they put on a really good match.
It was a really illogical costume. I think he should have just come out wearing the mask and then taken the mask off as part of his entrance. And I think that would have been a lot more effective.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he won too, but the way that he won
in his ring gear,
fine,
just with the mask on, because in all of his vignettes, it's been him taking off the mask. But we don't
took it out on him again on Raw.
So it would have been nice if they recreated that.
I think it should have been right then and there again. I think he should have just went after him.
and just to do it that one time.
I think I actually thought that it would have been better if he had taken out the ref.
I thought it would have been a lot more poetic.
If he just turns to the ref and he just starts arguing with the ref and he just gives the ref the end of days, I think that would have definitely
really
been really good for some heel
heat. I thought that it was really good for 5 minutes.
Sneaky away and then immediately snap, but he's like, oh man, I lost.
It was a 5-minute match.
Slowly make my way to the back.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for you if you just if it's supposed to be a grudge match and you're just shocked. It's not.
They vaguely explained it.
It doesn't really do anything for me. You have to be angry if it's a grudge match because it's a grudge match.
Although the fans chant were pretty.
But other than that, they had a pretty solid match. Again, Kalisto and Ryback had a really good match.
But it still doesn't explain anything.
I'm getting kind of annoyed now that the United States Championship is not being featured on the main show because because they did such a great job last year building it up with John Cena as the U.S. champion and doing the open challenges every week and making it a big deal again. And it's like now that he's not champion again, they kind of just or like, oh, whatever.
Point.
This is just a title.
It would be really nice to see Dillinger go over, but I gotta say, I thought that they were really good for each other, and I think that they should have a series of matches. And Cien's freaking finish is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that that was amazing. So hopefully they'll be building it back up now, because I would, or maybe the whole reason why they were putting it on the pre-show could have had something to do with Ryback's complaining.
This is my finish. Later, folks.
That could have been a little.
And then we
bit
moved
more of
on
that,
to
I
the
don't
chess
see it being
match.
a Kalisto thing.
Revival versus American Alpha,
because they're really
2.
looking for that Latin
This
star.
was my favorite match of the
But
evening.
Mine too. This was a
he
freaking
really
chess
does.
match. And the
It's
sequence
amazing
of
watching him fly
all
around
of the
the ring.
sequences that these two teams put together to get from one move to another. It was almost like a bunch of mini finishes.
Oh, I know.
It was just, they had so many creative spots that I loved. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I was expecting another injury right there.
The new ways the Revival would cheat.
But Ryback saved his life.
New ways, American Alpha would come up with to be super athletic and able to make the hot tag.
Yeah, it really did. He's a really good hand, Kalisto.
Yes, these guys were
I guess maybe
so
that does have something
balanced.
to do with Ryback.
I'd like to see a third match, but we're not.
I don't.
Get that,
But if that is the case, it's kind of petty, and I don't. And you know, you should be thinking about your product overall, and not. Oh well, this guy is pretty hard to work with. We should teach him a lesson for complaining all the time.
They look pretty scary.
If that's the case, I don't know.
One of them,
but if that has something to do with it, then that's kind of dumb. But I think Rusev will have a pretty good feud with Kalisto. I think that as much as I love Kalisto as the U.S. champion, I think Rusev is the one that needs to go over because he's lost so much of his aura since losing the United States Championship. That I feel
on top of that,
like,
you know,
that would be
Paul
the way to
Ellering
get back to it. But
showing
what
up
they
out of
should do with
nowhere
him is what they should have done in the first place when he was the U.S. champion.
Great, man. He doesn't look like he's
make him
since
just say that he refuses to defend the United States Championship and bring back the European Championship.
He looks really
just
in
for
shape,
him,
and kind of like J.K. Simmons, but not.
that would definitely get a really good reaction.
Oh my God, yeah. Why? Who is he supposed to play?
Commissioner Gordon. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. I don't think we need to see that happen twice.
Commissioner Jordan.
Because then the poor guy is just done.
Jesus, you can't like. I guess because Batfleck's so jacked.
Really disappointing at what happened with the tag team.
He wants to just kind of be equally jacked to be Gordon. I don't know, but I mean, good for him. And how old is that guy?
Yeah, I didn't even notice what I couldn't figure out what happened until maybe the third or fourth time that they showed the replay.
Not already in his early 60s.
It's like I didn't think the ropes were that.
This was a great match.
I think it was like
lots
the
of fun.
whiplash motion.
I liked a little bit of what
Yeah, I
was
think
done
that's
in
what
the
did it
It's
too.
like, all right,
And
we
he hit the
established,
back of his head
beat up
real
the former
hard.
champs,
Yeah.
have a Hall of Famer in your
I was just
corner.
like, oh my
And
god,
look terrified.
Like, it was just
So I was joking with
cold,
my buddy who I was watching
gasping
it,
for
like
breath, and I'm
rewatching
like,
it
they're
with.
gonna end this match
but-
right now.
Yeah, there was no
Do you
way
think
to
they're
not do
yelling,
that.
or they're
When I
just
saw
out
your
of breath
text,
and
I
trying
thought
to cover
that
it by yelling?
I thought
So
that
they were, like, huffing
it
and
was
puffing,
because they
like,
won,
like,
and I thought that you
yelling
ruined the
and,
match for me, but it was
like,
actually the
circling
opposite.
I'm like,
And
maybe they're
when I
just
saw it, I
tired
was like,
already.
oh,
Hope
that's
they're
what
not
he
tired
means.
already. You can't have a new Legion if they're gonna be what is going to be perceived as a new Legion of Doom. You can't be gassed already.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like,
yeah, this
I'm sure
match,
Bitch was pissed backage.
I enjoyed every bit of it, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see American Alpha go up. The Revival is they're slightly green, but they just need a little bit more time. Like maybe I'd say they'll be ready in about 6 months. Like I'd say by TakeOver Brooklyn.
Concerned, but after a
Revival
while,
should be
I think that it's nice that they kept updating us from commentary on Enzo's condition, and he was actually fine. I mean, now he got a concussion, so he should be off TV for a couple of weeks. But I'm glad that they still had Cass on in some capacity, and I feel like the
right. So there's not much of a ground.
The Vaudevillains were supposed to win anyway, so I don't think that it really messed up their plans that much
at this point.
Because seeing that as the Dudleys came out on Raw and they basically reignited the feud that way,
where it's going to go from here. Because the Hype Bros are probably,
I get this feeling that the Dudleys were supposed to interfere and cost Enzo and Cass the match anyway.
They jumped to the main roster, which I'm surprised they didn't just bring Mojo up.
So it doesn't seem like it factored into their plans, the injury, too much. So I guess that's, pretty good.
Versus the Revival, it's like, I don't know. I just don't really see that
Right. It was going to be a really good match. So hopefully we can get some kind of a rematch at some point when Enzo's ready. Maybe it could be for the Tag Team Championship if they have the Vaudevillains beat the New Day at Extreme Rules.
But I'm glad that the Revival regained their Tag Team Championship, because first of all, NXT has been overdue for having a two-time
That's what we should get. I think that the New Day should hold the titles until SummerSlam as well.
It's nice to see that it's them.
They should have weekly
because I honestly didn't want it to be Balor, but just because he needs to move the hell up.
I would watch the
but I'm glad that they put it on the right team. I'm glad that the heels cheated to win, and American Alpha looked badass the whole time.
What do you think about the homeless situation in China?
This match elevated both teams, which is what it's supposed to do. And then getting the run in it right afterwards was a really smart way to debut the Authors of Pain.
All right, and then moving on, we finally got the Sami Zayn and Owens match, which should have been for the Intercontinental Championship, but it wasn't. But it spilled into the Intercontinental Championship match. So I guess we'll be getting a Fatal 4-Way.
Really?
Yeah, I guess that's what we'll be getting at Extreme Rules, some kind of a Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. I thought that it was weird that they had Owens go over clean, but I didn't see what the big deal was. I know a lot of people were complaining that he shouldn't have gone over clean, and that all of your crazy internet people were like, oh, he immediately buried him. Where that's not a burial. They had a really great match, and it elevated both guys, which is what it's supposed to do, and they made it still matter as they're still feuding afterwards.
Should be House of Pain.
Oh my god, that would kill him though.
I know, it would turn him into the Public Enemy Part 2. And we can't do that. I don't want to see,
which is what should have happened the first time anyway.
Waving his hands in the air like he just don't care.
Now I kind of do.
There's nothing wrong with adding.
All right, yeah, I kind of do too.
Even the Miz.
Yeah, well, the Miz has been on a roll lately. The addition of his super sexy wife has made has brought new life to the character, and it's made him.
It was very basic.
It's made him a really good heel out of it. I kind of liked the build-up
because of how basic it was. It wasn't really tied that well to a story. It was just really, I want to be champion. Yeah, me too. Okay, well, we did okay as a tag team, but I still want it. But I'm not interested in it being a tag team.
Yeah,
good. Me neither. Well, we can't both be number one contender. You're right. Let's fight.
Yeah, and they pretty much just rub it in everyone's face.
But it wasn't an official number one contender.
It's pretty damn entertaining.
Why didn't they just do that so they have like a better reason to have a match? As was like, I'm the best. Well, I'm the king. And William Regal's like, fuck it.
Owens got involved.
I feel like the reason for not making it a number one contenders match is because of Bobby Roode being backstage. So I'm thinking that if they're gonna have anyone be a contender,
we just kind of need him to just shove his 2 cents in there every now and again.
I don't know, because they do need someone new to have Joe feud with. I think it's gonna be Nakamura.
I want it to be Nakamura, but I think it's. I'm thinking that they're gonna have. I don't know if Bobby Roode will stay in NXT for a while, because I don't see him really being in NXT for a while. I see him.
Bring back Miz TV.
I see him having the brief contract that apparently Nakamura supposedly has, where he's just there for a little while just to get his name around and then get jumped up to the main roster.
He did. I thought that they had a pretty good match.
I feel like if Bobby Roode when he does appear on NXT, that he won't be there for very long.
Yeah, I feel like maybe just have him work Brooklyn and then move up because I mean, he's ready.
Yeah, this guy is crazy. Oh, speaking of Bob Backlund, apparently on SmackDown tonight,
absolutely not.
They're going to start the pairing of Bob Backlund and Darren Young, which I think is
make him be there.
I think is weird. But it's something for Darren Young to do, and it might actually be crazy enough to work.
Damn it, we get it.
I'm in the crazy.
I honestly want to see. I really like to see Roode versus Triple H.
As long
that would be a great match.
Because Darren Young is openly gay.
I want to see that.
I really want to see that.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a makeover.
But yeah, Nakamura and Aries.
As long as they don't do that, or if they don't have Bob Backlund, just
also it was.
What's wrong with you? You look great. You should be getting all the ladies at the club. And then Darren Young's just like, I don't think they'd be interested.
Earlier,
just as long as they don't do anything that's somewhat homophobic. Or try to play off of that. I think they should steer clear of that as much as possible.
It's like strong style, so it's like, alright, instead of trying to be sneaky, we're just going to clobber each other.
Yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't as good as Nakamura and Zayn.
Oh, God.
But Nakamura Aries was still a really good match.
They have a bunch of
I like that
wrestlers, there was some of those guys.
I thought it might be more about
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think if anything, an older manager for Ambrose would definitely have to be Terry Funk, and it would just and they could have an out crazy each other competitions.
Alright,
they just slap each other in the face all the time for no reason. This Dean up for his matches.
Aries is a really established guy. I don't see him being a main event player. I see him dabbling in the main event. As far as a main roster thing is concerned, NXT, he could work the main event of NXT. But I see him being one of those guys
hitting
where
himself in the head with a chair.
He occasionally works with the main event guy on a B-level pay-per-view, but not being WWE champion.
All right, I don't think we should do that. I think that's too PG.
Right, but he won't win. Yeah, I see that.
But he should break the potted plants of the Ambrose Asylum over.
This is true.
Although I think he's just gonna be this time. I'm not really one of those guys who are like, they gotta look like a champion.
Jesus.
He's just too small to be,
All right, what other matches have we got?
Okay.
To Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, honestly, what I really want him to do, what I wish that they would do is, I wish that they would bring Christopher Daniels in, and they could have him and Aries be a tag team and go on a freaking tear. I would love to see that team.
It was fine. It was a good match. They had the back and forth that they needed to have.
Plus, nobody can get.
I just think that the build was very lacking to the feud.
Daniels just has to.
I think that they really should have played off more of what happened at Night of Champions.
Do that money
instead of, hey, you took my TV show.
Everybody just loses their shit.
Yeah, this felt like
nobody understands how to do. Nobody understands how he does it. When I was talking with Joey Styles about it, I brought up Daniels when I was interning, and because it was when it was yet another time when TNA was in dire straits. So we were just talking about who to raid basically, and he was like, and people mentioned Aries, but he was like, we wouldn't get Aries because he would just be another Daniel Bryan, and we can't have two Daniel Bryans, which now you can for obvious reasons. And then I suggested Daniels, and he was like,
that's fine. I would rather him, do that because now it makes people not like him.
That thing that
what they're not supposed to do, because wouldn't you know what, he's a heel.
Crap out of him. I've never seen anyone
good
be
for
able
him.
to draw.
I would like just to say
that
the Owens and Zayn match was pretty damn awesome. It might have been the match of the night.
He just has that charisma.
I would consider it my match of the night.
I've never really heard
definitely
chatter about
all right, and moving on.
He's one of those,
Charlotte with Ric Flair defeated Natalya with Bret Hart by the Chicago screwjob of Ric Flair's real-life best friend referee.
Daniels is doing Ring of Honor right now, so I think Daniels is content where he is, and I feel like he probably feels like he really doesn't need to go there.
We had no back history as to anything that really happened.
I think that in the back of his mind, it's always going to be there, and he'll be like, yeah, it would be nice if that happens.
This was a really stupid way to end the match.
I feel like he's comfortable where he is.
It was, I don't know.
And that he doesn't
let Montreal be done with it.
Like he needs
what the hell is the point?
Anything to prove
just because Bret Hart's there,
they
feel the incentive to just screw
over
somebody like that.
I would love to see Daniels and Aries back together as a tag team.
It was dumb.
Together again.
But yeah, this was a smooth match. These guys stiff the hell out of each other. Nakamura is so freaking over that there's no reason for him to stay in NXT.
Well,
draft him up.
Yeah. Just bring this guy.
It is kind of a shame because the match was really good,
now,
like you said.
Immediately bring him over to Raw. The man is wearing red leather. He's calling for Raw.
So,
that's a silver lining for sure.
The only one he brought over from Japan. He's like, I only have so much suitcase space. I can only bring one.
It's plausible.
Yeah, they really could. I think that they need to ban.
I didn't realize that Nakamura had an MMA background
from being the ref as well.
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense to his style.
It does now. I mean, I was watching something where it was his last fight.
What if he just decides?
And his last MMA fight.
That should be a gimmick for him. He just becomes the referee from the basketball game at Little Nicky, where he just stops giving a shit and starts making up his own rules as he goes along.
And the guy was way bigger than him. The guy was huge. And Nakamura, Nakamura. He's a skinny guy.
Yeah,
Nakamura ends up beating this guy. You just
see him grab the mic and he's like, "All right, stop the match. I'm tired."
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. But just by watching the fight, it was holy cow.
He just decides to leave in the middle of it. This is boring.
I can't imagine actually trying to fight that dude.
Jesus. I would have nightmares about fighting him.
The other weird thing is Bret Hart made it.
I also like the Shinsuke Fume.
Yeah, talk about bad timing.
We're not giving up the
fine at payback.
name of the
Kinshasa.
No, he looks normal.
Cool, but
yeah, it looked like it was pretty quick.
But Bomaye means kill him, so you can't.
Which means Ric Flair has a Wolverine type healing factor. You can't scream
kill him on a PG program.
And that explains why he's been able to do this as long as he has.
They can't, but the audience can.
The audience can.
That too.
He did survive an airplane crash.
He did survive an airplane crash.
That's if Kevin Dunn is working the production for NXT.
Didn't he break his back during that airplane crash?
I don't think so either.
I could see him being back there occasionally.
Yeah, he definitely has
Wolverine just monitoring
other
people and giving advice and stuff.
Someone has
make sure you focus on his muscles.
Wolverine.
Somebody needs to show Ric Flair's adamantium
lots of psychology
skeleton.
going on here. It told a good story of two guys who just plainly want to show which one's the best. Not really any vendettas or anything like that. I really enjoyed watching
all right, so
this
Ric Flair
match,
is Wolverine.
It definitely wasn't as good as Nakamura and Zayn, and it was a little hard to get into at first because I was trying to catch my breath from the Revival match.
Too long.
And
then we got
to their credit,
our mate, which was definitely the best match that Roman Reigns has ever had.
All right, get ready for this match.
It was awesome. The whole time, I was really into it. And I think that's why the crowd is starting to go with Reigns now. We did hear more cheers on Raw, and they were they were in St. Louis in Raw, but in Chicago there weren't really the boos weren't that bad for him either.
With 10,000 people
Oh God, yeah. Which that sold out immediately, by the way. So not going.
I was gonna say maybe I'll try snag tickets when it's closer. Nope. Done.
I mean, you could try. It officially goes on sale either today or next week, but
today. 3 hours ago.
Oh well, then it's probably sold out immediately because when I tried to get the pre-sale tickets, the best section that I could get were seats much worse than last time. So I was like, I'm not gonna be there in the nosebleeds. I think I'm probably just gonna go to. I'm probably just gonna go to my friend John's place in Queens, watch it, and then go down to another bar and then go down to the bar and watch watch UFC 200.
Well, I guess you could argue
200 or 202. No, it's 202.
Because the following night they called up
the same
everyone.
Night as NXT TakeOver.
Yeah, it's still because 200 July 9th, I want to say.
He definitely is not.
So 202.
I would say the new era started with Shane getting Raw.
One last thing. I don't
get
the
okay.
Thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why
just
he
tell
did
us
that.
whatever it is that you want to
I thought
tell
it was
us,
nice that
because
the
you're gonna do it
commentary was starting to address it in the beginning because I guess they thought that he was going to do something.
I was not
with
expecting the chemistry to be that good, but
like,
it was
I didn't see him on the injury report,
outing.
so he's probably doing something psychological so that he targets the ribs and not his head or anything like that that's already injured. Which I thought that Aries was going to do something.
I liked what they did at first.
But he did
But only because I thought that it was going to lead
to
the Bullet Club coming out and sabotaging one or the other or both.
Another place that's injured. It's why would you? I feel like the ribs is the worst place to be hit me here as much as you can.
Why would you tape up an arm or a leg or something
that's what I
a little
thought.
more meaty?
And nothing did. I was waiting for Finn to show up.
It hurts the
or
brain.
something crazy to happen. But it was
so don't tell them to hit you there.
See you in 3 weeks for Extreme Rules, I guess.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, it was weird because my whole thing was why would you?
Why would you? It wasn't addressed, so that was the only
have
thing.
The match.
The match psychology was fine,
and twice
there was no
and then
restart
the match again with new stipulations.
It wasn't addressed. So
have the second stipulation be no disqualification,
and also let me go and let me stop by saying
nothing really
Tom
happens.
Phillips, what a nice suit you have.
Like they just finished having, they just had a normal rest of the match. There was nothing else that happened that was DQ worthy.
A little iffy about calling the Kinshasa too early though, but that's okay. It looked like it could have been. It looked like a Kinshasa, but it just wasn't.
Chairs or something.
Nope, nothing.
I was like, wait, switch things up.
Book the rematch immediately.
The jumping double knees
awkwardly funny segment.
Knee him again.
Vince is like, let's see the replay, and then the logo shows up. He's like,
all right,
never
so
mind.
let's move on to the ladies.
Someone got fired.
Well, everybody's girl Asuka.
Although he played it off pretty well.
Overcame Nia Jax, which.
No, you could see in his eyes he was like, I'm going to kill whoever
It was predictable, but they did do a great job of building this.
But he didn't realize that he's on a 7-second delay.
Freaking beast.
Yeah, she looked awesome.
She looked terrifying.
Plus, it's like, we get an Extreme Rules match
from the get-go. I knew she was going to lose.
Yeah, they've got to give her a big win. Because this is already two feuds for the women's championship that
even though nothing happened, but
she's got to be. She has to.
I am kind of glad that they at least just gave him.
Otherwise,
I thought it was funny that they just gave him the rematch to give him the rematch. Like there was no real storyline purpose. Which is actually better than building the storyline and a guy for 3 weeks saying I should get a rematch. Where it's just like, you know what? Yeah, you did good. We're just gonna give you a rematch anyway.
It's good,
we admit that this was like a weird situation, so we're just
she did beat Bailey, but
it's like them. It's like Shane and Stephanie saying we're sorry.
Yeah, you've got to beat the women's champion.
If they can keep, because now
you did beat Bailey with the whole injury angle thing, but everyone's like, all right, come on.
Yeah, but this is going to be built up for Bailey to go through her, and then Bailey goes.
I thought that they were going to even bring Finn up.
It's going to be unfortunate because it's going to have Nia Jax lose the feud again.
Yeah,
and
it had a similar feel to it.
What do you do with Nia Jax?
Where at some point they were just having the regular match, or I thought that maybe even after the match when he had to choose and he didn't choose, I thought that we would hear Finn Balor's music, and he would come out, and then he would just and they would all proceed to beat down AJ. But that didn't happen either.
With, like, the same skill level.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Ember Moon was on the dark match for this event.
So far is
it's like, yes, finally
the Bullet Club losing.
We get
like
Athena.
Reigns pinned Gallows. I want to say
No.
on Raw.
AJ Styles pinned one of the Usos.
But this match was fine. It was definitely Nia Jax's best match to date.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch last week's SmackDown.
She could just toss Asuka around like a ragdoll.
They need to stop with the 50-50 booking because
the selling was really good. I have to say that Asuka's selling was really good. And even Nia Jax's selling is getting a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. She knows what to sell to put over the fact.
Yeah.
Like she's good at selling to the point where it's like, oh man, like she's actually down. It's like that's good selling.
I'm sure that's what it's building.
You want to take me out of the whole realization that it's not that it's all predetermined, which is what they did.
Well, they are.
Although I thought it was funny, like towards the end of the match, where Asuka used the flying bump tackle and it knocked behind them. Nia Jax over.
Now, there's a
alright, come on. I understand if she got chopped down by kicks and
what are they doing? They never seen
the bump tackle, really?
Yeah, I would have preferred a
right, and on top of that, the commentary team
a Shining Wizard rather than a bump tackle.
Poorly builds up to what they are. All they say is they were part of a club in Japan, and it's like that is the most vague thing you could possibly imagine.
They're in a club in Japan.
Yeah.
It's
if anything, he should have bounced off of that, or again had done a.
It makes me think of the treehouse in Calvin and Hobbes. Like they're just all in a clubhouse in a treehouse with newspaper hats and wooden swords, and they're all screaming "No girls allowed."
Get rid of Slime.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been better in threes rather than in fours.
So it'd be they're in
especially too because Nia Jax screamed at her and then she kicked her, and she put her right there.
Yeah, I thought that when she did the scream and the kick, I thought that it was going to lead to Jax's comeback.
I was waiting for that.
I think I definitely see Anderson eating
glue. It would have
glue.
been the comeback spot, but it was just that she kicked her again and she lost. It was.
Bullets.
Yeah, it's like they couldn't have made it, and they couldn't have said it any worse.
Power moves and they look fucking
Oh,
brutal.
Because I don't know.
Was in NXT, she has massive arms and stuff, and they kind of try to play her off as like a power wrestler. She never did power moves. Now we actually get a demon who does power moves. Finally.
Oh my god! Please don't do that. Please don't say that.
When they were doing the contract signing, and Asuka went into her crazy samurai stress mode, and went for the kick. And Jax turned it into the powerbomb. I fucking felt that, man. Like, I got out of my seat and I was like, ooh.
Oh, boy.
Like, my back hurts. My back hurts.
That was payback.
It looked like a train wreck. It was great.
Hopefully Bullet Club actually shows up at Extreme Rules, because I feel like if they drag this out any longer, then it's just not going to have the same effect, and people will stop caring about it.
Although, I mean,
like they need to start showing the Bullet Club in video packages or something like that. They need to start showing us what it was.
Have Spinebuster finish.
Because with them just again saying they were part of a club, it makes you think of a million different things. Like I could even see them, as water buffaloes from the Flintstones,
it's
like at a bowling league.
It never struck me as like a real finish.
It doesn't even make it seem like they're like. They didn't say like a squad or a faction or even a tag.
Right. I mean, it's more effective.
It would have been better if they had. It would have been better if they just said they were in a stable or they were in a faction or something like that.
It's a little more believable, but that would take you out.
Because then we could at least get an idea. But if you just say the word club,
because you're not laying it across.
It's so open ended.
Not laying it across the throat or
you have so many possibilities of what it could actually be. If you're not going to go, if you're not going to look into it on your own.
That's a little bit more believable that it's going to take me down.
Very. So, Commentary needs to get better at doing that. WWE needs to do a better job of showing us what the club actually is.
I thought that it was. I think that
and
actually
we
like
need
what you said that
Balor and or Nakamura to come up sooner than later because it's going to
5 for 5
it's going to take away.
Never happened.
I mean, they've already lost. They're already losing
the entire pay-per-view
on it as it keeps getting drawn out.
Yes, you are, Blackjack Frank. You're upgraded, new gimmick.
No, you need to strike while the iron is hot.
Upon your return from the Dudley Moon Colony, you used all of your resources to buy and build up a casino.
No, but at the same time, it's like, come on, can you just do this already?
Just give us what we want.
Just give us what we want.
You already got our $9.99 for this month.
I will hire Perry Saturn as my bouncer.
Oh, Jesus. But we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about these builds as they build. I'm Chris.
But
this has
as you said in your prediction, I thought that it would have been a little more interesting to show more Bayley involvement, or at least to just have her looking on.
Yeah, because they showed her backstage,
right. She was walking fine. She wasn't in a cast or anything to sell the injury any more than she had to. So why not just put her in as a special referee, or just have her watching ringside or something, or why not just have her come out and just watch from the entrance ramp?
Yeah, because she didn't even really interact with Asuka or anything. If she should have said hey, good luck out there because I want to win that title back from
right.
you.
Or even guest commentary. I think guest commentary could have probably been the most effective way to just bring her out there.
Mm-hmm. And then it would have also reduced the amount of "we want Bayley" chants when they're hyping up the other two women. It's oh
yeah,
come
for
on.
sure.
And I also thought it was kind of hilarious that they're we need a special song for the ladies. How about Baby Metal? It's come
what?
On, guys.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, why is Baby Metal on NXT? Not that it's a bad thing, but I was like, this is... I did not expect this.
And it's really? You're going to have the J-pop metal band play for the Japanese champion? Really? WWE? in case we forgot.
Oh boy! I imagine that this. I would say that it would be a Vince move, but I know that it wasn't. But it's very Vincey.
Yep. Although, I love Asuka's theme song, but if they started getting actual licensed music for wrestlers, Baby Metal would make the
for
most sense
sure.
For Asuka.
That would be really cool if they used that theme song as a regular theme.
I mean, come on, spend the money.
Yeah. Also, hey, what was the deal with the Armageddon 2005 theme song being one of the theme songs? Yeah.
I was just this sounds really familiar. I'm oh, it's a recycled song from another pay-per-view. Alright.
Not just that, it was on the WWF The Music compilation with the 3 CDs. It was on the Modern Era thing, or whatever the hell the third disc was. That song's on there.
I mean, they got the rights to it. It's already there.
Yeah, I guess that's what they figured. Well, we might as well just use this song since we own it.
And they had to save the Day to Remember song for the main event video package.
Yeah.
Even though they played it 5 fucking times.
I don't care for Day to Remember.
I like some of their stuff, but I'm not a big fan of the new song. Although they tend to have they put out the singles, the first single I'm and then I'll find a couple songs off the album that I like that are not singles, you know what I mean?
Right. It's okay, but I'm not crazy about it.
But I just like that they're using actual licensed music. Hey, way to make it look more of a big deal instead of Jim Johnson, coming up with new theme songs every month. It's time for the end, turn it, the end of the beginning. That's where it comes from. Jim, you just made some shit up, and now we gotta call it the end of the beginning. God damn it, Jim. But Yeah, main event time?
Main event time. The first ever steel cage match at NXT. And what the hell was up with Neville's hipster look?
Oh my god, you mean the coolest math teacher of all time?
Oh, gee, yeah, he does look like a math teacher.
I'm gonna teach you about tangents.
Well, and gravity and physics.
That's it. He's the world's coolest, astrophysicist.
I could get behind that. That's gonna be his new gimmick. Oh no.
The mandate gravity for guys like, actually, fellas, gravity can't forget things because it's not sentient.
He does calm down. I mean, actually, his ring name makes no sense because we would have only seen him one time and he would have been floating.
Help me!
They have to get him down from the ceiling for like just to have a match, and he has to be tied to a tether. Oh Jesus! That good thing they didn't think about going all the way forward with that gimmick. I'm sure if this was 1994, he would be paired up with Max Moon.
Next time they have like a open air like stadium show, he needs to parachute out of a plane for his entrance theme and like parasail into the stadium.
Okay, that actually would be pretty friggin' sweet.
If he could pull it off, I feel like it'd be like, oh shit, I'm going wide. He like lands in the audience and takes them out.
Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, although we gave away a lot of t-shirts.
I can see it. Or they need that guy who had like that guy who would like parachute into like sports games in the 90s, who had like the fan and the parachute.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just kind of like land on the field and people were like, oh, fuck him.
Screw it. Let's just get Jason David Frank to come out with Neville and just guide him.
Yes. Why not?
Why not? All right, so let's get to the main event. Balor noticeably was wearing was in just black and white for this event, which was also the colors which also was what he was wearing during his last match in Japan. So I think that may or may not dignify a call up for sure.
We'll see. Like they taped some more episodes of NXT television, so they hinted at what's going to happen with Finn.
Which is?
It seems like he's going to have a match with Nakamura at some point in the future.
Okay, maybe that's the last thing that they want to do with him, which I could see.
But I mean, they could still like call him up beforehand, like for the draft, and then be like, my last match would be with Nakamura, yeah!
Yeah, that would make sense too.
Or they could just have it on, like, free TV. You never know. Because they have a while to build up to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to make Nakamura number one contender, like, they could delay for a few weeks, have him beat Finn, and then William Regal's like, yeah, alright. You can be number one contender.
Yeah, why not?
Or they could just have it be, like, a number one contenders match. Although, like, be like, yeah, we know Finn's not going to win this.
Yeah, I don't want it to be anything too predictable. But the cage match itself was really good. First of all, the NXT cage is better than the WWE cage.
I like it. I just wish it was taller, like a little bit. Cause,
I like that. I like that it's a smaller cage because it was more of a throwback to the older style cages.
But like, it was like they were on the top rope and like they were like a little bit taller than the cage. Like I just wanted so it's like maybe a foot or two taller, so they're not just like
so they're still engulfed, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
although
yeah, that makes sense.
The cage didn't rattle and didn't bounce or anything, so when they got thrown into it, it was just like, ow.
Yeah, that I loved. I love that they revolved it around the cage.
Mm-hmm.
The cage match is specifically there for psychology, and they played it up as much as they could. I liked that they didn't try to do as many. I liked that they didn't try to do a whole bunch of escapes. I like that they were more focused on using the cage as a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Although, when, like, Joe tried to get out of the cage immediately, I'm like, what the fuck? Come on. Like, that's, like, not Samoa Joe. He's not just gonna leave immediately. You know what I mean?
but there's always got to be one spot to do it, and you can't just have the face be the guy to do the cowardly thing. So it made sense from that perspective.
I would have liked if, like, afterwards, like, Joe's getting beat up, and that's when he, like, decides to leave, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have been better to do that.
But yeah, this was a pretty brutal match, like, you know, Joe didn't bleed everywhere like he did in Dallas, but it was still, like, effective.
But yeah, it would have been it would have been great if they finally let the blood go, but they didn't.
And you know, the right guy won. We all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew that the finish was going to involve something from a high angle, but I thought that I was hoping for a missed coup de grace from the top of the cage.
Yeah, because then they could have played up, like, since he hurt his ankle before, like, they'd be like, oh, shit, like, maybe he hurt himself again.
Right, and then that could have opened up for a second Muscle Buster. But the way that they ended up doing it was fine. Muscle Buster from the second rope looked really freaking devastating.
Yeah, it looked fucking killer. Especially because it's like, he slammed his face in the cage before, and it's like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah. It's like this guy is getting severe head trauma right now. He's not getting up from that.
Mm-hmm. Although the whole thing where Joe got like kicked in the head and he fell down and then Finn crushed himself, I kind of laughed at that.
Yeah, that was a pretty great spot.
My groin. That was pretty much my reaction to that.
It was just but you saw that coming because of the way, because like of the slight delay of Joe, where he was like, oh, okay. Like, it almost looked like he forgot, but it also could have been just like, man, this guy's exhausted, or like he wasn't thinking. So it could have gone either way psychologically, but I actually really liked that spot because it was good because it played up the self-sacrificing angle.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, the problem with the Joe versus Finn feud is like, the matches have been good, but they haven't been, like, the main event in my mind, really.
Right. There's always been another match on the card that's overshadowed it, and it's usually been the tag team championship match.
Or just, like, in Dallas, it's like the Nakamura match. It's like, oh.
Yeah, nothing was beating the Nakamura match in Dallas. But, or in London, it was the tag team championship match. And I don't remember what it was the other time that they fought, and when Joe won. So this was round 4, but I think London was their best match.
Yeah, I would say London too. But now they both can move on. We get a fresher like main event. Like,
right, we get a new feud. We got a new feud. It's gonna open a lot of things up. Hopefully Balor, shows up around Money in the Bank. I really like him to just show up in general for just like I just want him to be on the freaking main roster because I'm tired of waiting for this guy to get here.
I'm fucking sick of waiting for you, man.
Yeah, it's like because every pay-per-view on the main roster that goes by, I'm like, okay, are they gonna do the club now? Like, are they gonna do the full-on club now? No. Damn it, they gotta do it now. How about now?
Alright, now AJ turned heel and he's fully embraced the club. How about now?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like, you can't. It's like, you can't have me waiting for this shit. It's like, the longer that they drag it out, the less effective the less effective it might be.
Plus, too, it's like a Boy Cried Wolf situation where it's like, now they're finally gonna do it, right? And that's like, no. And then when he finally debuts, it's like, oh wow, he's actually here.
Yeah, like I don't want them to draw it out so much that I no longer care about when it happens, if it happens.
Yeah, they need to do that pronto. And I wouldn't mind if Joe made it to the main roster sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'd like to see Joe make it to the main roster, but I know that probably given his age and his physical appearance, I don't think that Vince would really. I don't see Vince doing a whole lot with him. I see Vince underutilizing Joe.
Yeah, but he's the good Samoan champion.
He is. Joe's awesome, but I don't see Vince utilizing Joe properly.
You never know, though, since he's, like, a legit tough guy, and, he can out-hoss a lot of people. He might get a decent main event shot.
Possibly.
The main roster.
I'd like to see Joe versus Owens.
That would be awesome.
I'd love to see that match. But who the heck knows?
Yeah. Well, there's only one way to find out. Build a time machine.
Yeah, we should build a time machine. And not out of a refrigerator box. Like, we should get the good materials.
Mm-hmm. We should get, like, an oven box. Do ovens come in boxes? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think you just get them from the oven warehouse.
Oven Depot.
Oven Depot.
/ Oven Bakery.
Oven Bakery Depot.
You know, we gotta make sure these work, so we bake a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
we should get like a brick pizza oven, because that way we know that it's sturdy.
Oh, this comes pretty dirty. Don't you know how oven brick pizzas work?
Oh yeah, we would have to. We would have to do some cleaning.
So yeah, the Oven Depot, Samoa Joe, book it. Samoa Joe's Oven Depot.
I don't want to see a vignette where Samoa Joe is a handyman at an Oven Depot.
They turn him into the new Dusty Rhodes.
He's just he's just like he's an oven salesman.
I'm Samoa Joe, and you're gonna love my ovens.
Oh no!
And it's just like him looking terrifying while like wearing like, "Hi, my name is Joe."
Yeah, he's got like a name tag and everything.
He's just looking really pissed off as he slowly opens the oven. It's like, it comes with a self-cleaning cycle. Like, and Finn's like, I can't believe I had a 4-match main event run with you. What happened to you, man?
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, good match by Samoa Joe's ovens. And, yeah, one last thing that we need to talk about before we wrap this up. That was the end of NXT TakeOver, the end of the beginning. But this match has nothing to do with NXT or WWE for that matter. But it's been getting headlines for the last couple of weeks, and people are going gaga over it. Of course, I'm talking about the Super Junior Championship tournament in New Japan. We're talking about Will Ospreay versus Ricochet.
And I explained this match to my friends because I showed it to a bunch of like non-wrestling fans. I'm like, this is pretty much like two ninjas fighting.
Yeah, like this is what the Mortal Kombat movies could have been.
I watched, when I first heard about it, I watched like someone who like uploaded it onto YouTube in shitty quality, and then they actually uploaded it. I was so thankful for that because I'm like, holy shit, this match is ridiculous.
It was crazy. If you're looking for a traditional wrestling match, you're not going to like it, which I can see why it's been so controversial because of how it's a stunt show.
Yeah, but it was like, what a fucking stunt show! Like,
oh yeah. My only issue that I have with my real issue with this is that I wish that there was more selling, because there was very little to no selling, especially the Death Valley driver from the apron, which also Austin Aries and Nakamura repeated, but they did that a little bit more proper with a lot of selling.
Mm-hmm.
But with that spot, he picks him up. He does a Death Valley driver on the friggin' apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. It's a steel beam, and Ospreay just turns around and just like does that. He does like some kind of a Ambrose. He does like a 619 variation of a baseball slide, and they just kind of start going back into sequences. So I would have really preferred a whole lot of selling. They did a little bit of selling towards the end, but there should have been a lot of selling all over the place.
Plus, too, like, when they didn't sell all these big moves, when the finish actually came, I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was the finish. I was expecting him to do like some kind of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit out of it.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, there were so many sequences where it could have been the finish. Like, I thought that the finish was, would have been What the hell is the name of that move when he grabbed him and basically does a backflip rock bottom?
Oh,
I forget the name of that move.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. Wasn't it? Because someone back in the day did it on WWE, didn't they? And it was like the C4 or something.
Yeah, there was a cruiserweight that did that, but I really can't remember. And it's one of my created wrestlers' finishing moves too, but I forget what it is. But I thought that was the finish for sure. And then when Ricochet kicked out of it, I was like, okay, Ricochet's gonna go over with something crazy. But instead, it was Ospreay with a springboard RKO type deal, which good move to finish it, good finish. But it left me wanting more.
Yeah. After all like the crazy moves, it was just kind of like, oh, like after all the fucking madness we saw, it seemed kind of anticlimactic.
Right.
And plus, too, like you said, I expected Ricochet to go over too. So I was like, oh, like it's gonna eventually build up to like the 630 splash, and that's gonna be the finish.
Right, because he had missed it initially too.
But it was a good freaking match. The other thing too is I would like if somebody put English commentary over it, but like having no commentary also worked because then you could hear them.
I kind of enjoyed the no commentary. I was expecting Japanese commentary because they're so enthusiastic, but there was no commentary, and I was okay with it. I also liked how Will Ospreay curses like a sailor.
Cheerio, motherfucker.
Jesus, it's like you can't say. It's like, well, they can't show that on WWE.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, we're in Japan. They don't care. I'm used to seeing like English wrestlers swear on like Japanese shows, which is like, I watched like a Let's Watch of the King of the Deathmatch thing. And Terry Gorgeous is like, can't believe I let that fucker beat me. Fuck. So it's like, all right, this wasn't as bad as that.
No, I think that this match and Ricochet's work as Prince Puma on Lucha Underground, I think this is a testament that WWE needs to gobble him up, or at least put him for the Cruiserweight Classic.
I heard they were trying. Like he was, like I heard it was like the WWE offered him a deal, and then like Lucha Underground offered him like a really nice contract. But from what I understand with the Cruiserweight Classic, like the WWE is playing their cards really close to the chest there. So I wouldn't be surprised if like they're trying to keep shit like that under wraps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Because I mean, they've only announced like 8 people, and it's supposed to be like a huge amount of people in it.
Right, I think there's supposed to be like 32 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like they gotta announce a lot of people. Like they don't have that many cruiserweights on the roster,
Yeah, like they're just scourging the earth for these guys. But I think, like Ricochet and Ospreay look like $1 million. Ricochet's definitely more built, obviously. So I think Ricochet needs to be. I think he needs to be brought down now, because he's definitely in his prime. Ospreay, I think Ospreay needs a little bit more time to build.
He really young?
Yeah, he's like 19 or something like that. He's not old.
So he has plenty of time.
Right, but he needs to bulk up quite a bit, Ospreay.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. Like he has plenty of time to like bulk up and get even better and like sign with the WWE eventually. It's not like it's like they gotta sign him now before he starts,
Oh no, he's 23. He's 23.
Yeah. But still, like it's like you're fucking 23 and you're pulling that shit. Like just imagine what's gonna happen later.
Oh yeah, I mean if WWE doesn't take these guys, then Hollywood will probably come calling really soon. Because I could see these guys being career stuntmen.
Yeah. Or just learn some basic martial arts and put them in a fucking karate movie.
Why the hell not?
The shit out of that.
Why not? I would love that.
Put them in the new Unbach movie, please.
Oh God. If only. But yeah, that's I guess that's my opinion on the match. Good, solid fight. Really should have had more selling.
A good match to show non-wrestling fans, too.
Yeah, a great match to show non-wrestling fans, too. If you want a traditional match, you're probably not going to like it, so please have an open mind when watching this. Mm-hmm. But if you just want to see a bunch of, like, if you want to see a stunt show, basically, then this is all for you. If you want to see, like, just two extremely athletic guys just flipping around and just beating the hell out of each other, then you're gonna love this. Mm-hmm. But there will be there is no middle ground on this match. Yeah. You will either love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
And I think that's a testament to how wrestling overall is. The styles are changing now.
Yeah.
Because it seems like with Japanese wrestling, it's getting a lot more flashy with the spots, where American wrestling is starting to become similar to Japanese wrestling in the sense where our fans care more about striking, and like, because you don't really see a whole lot of. I guess over the last couple of years, you're starting to see less maneuver finishers and more strike-based finishers.
Yeah.
Like AJ Styles has the his main finisher is the flying forearm. Daniel Bryan's was the knee. Punk's was the GTS, which is more of it's a move, but it's a strike that follows it. Cien's finisher, which is the double knee in the turnbuckle. Nakamura's Kinshasa. We're starting to see a lot more striking finishers.
Yeah.
And also Zayn's haluva kick is a giant, revved up big boot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's also because, like, they're easier to do, you know what I mean?
Well, not just that. I think that it has something to do with the growing popularity of MMA.
Yeah.
So because the believability now is more in MMA style things, because if you're looking at certain moves, it's like the guy has to pick you up and do all this stuff, and it's like if you you can't. It's like sometimes it takes the believability out because of how much more in tune we are with MMA. So it's kind of like, okay, well, if I was really fighting this guy, I wouldn't just let him pick me up. Or I would at least try to struggle or anything. I wouldn't just let him set it up. Whereas if it's a strike, it's like, well, I can't do nothing about it. This guy just kicked me in the back of the freaking head. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, too, you can strike anyone. Where, some of these moves, you can't do them to different opponents because of their body size or what have you.
Right. Also, the spots in American wrestling are getting closer to Japan sometimes. In terms of heavyweight matches, it's becoming more. People are getting more over with just forearms or just punching combinations. Which is good because it's not toning down the stiffness. It's not toning down on anything. It's just not as flashy, which is good. I think I like for the smaller guys, for the cruiserweight guys, to be using more flashy technique, where the more heavyweight guys are utilizing more striking and more ground game. I like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's definitely evolving the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy to see how it's changing, all over the place, and seeing how different companies are adapting to different styles.
Right. We don't see anything as much. We're not really seeing a whole lot of British wrestling technique. There's nuances, but it's not really being utilized that much because British wrestling is more comedy based. So you see more British wrestling in indie promotions like Chikara. Chikara blends lucha with British wrestling.
And you almost see it in WWE.
Occasionally you do. Occasionally. With maybe a certain mid-card team or something like that. But not that, but it's not as grandiose.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's there's that, and then there's Manhapra. I'm Chris.
I'm Spaceman Frank.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.